Mini driver, sawa? Sure. Ai. Unanishautia kwa kusikia. To make a house. The house. Okay, okay. Oh, my God. This will be about the castle. Huh?
For the thank you all for attending. So I'm gonna make this meeting a bit interactive. So I hope I am, first of all, I hope I am audible, and also I hope you can see my screen. So maybe in case of anything, you can just type in the chat, and then yeah, Steve can just get back to you. So my name is Devin. Let me see if I can switch on my screen. Yeah, my name is Tevin Isaac, and I'm the developer relations Kushite ICP. Okay, I want my logo to be seen, but it's okay. Yeah, so it's nice to see you. Happy New Year, happy everything. For some of you guys, it's the first time being here, and for some of you guys are also experienced developers. Some of you, we've had history. You've participated in one of our hackathons that we had. We had like a series of 8 hackathons last year, the last quarter of last year, and at least, yeah, it was successful. Some of you guys came in through events, probably events that maybe ICP partnered, and the likes. And for some of you guys, it's also just, it's a first time, you know, you don't know anything about internet computer, and this is now the place to to start. So yeah, like I said, this will be an interactive session. This session won't take long. So today, based on the time, we might not go deep into the coding part, because for some of you guys it's new. That's why this session was particularly introduction to ICP, you know, at least know what is really this internet computer. For some of you guys, maybe you just know that it's a blockchain, but you don't know, you know, what type of blockchain it is and everything. So today we are here at least to answer all of those questions. So we are Kushite ICP Hub East Africa. So ICP has different hubs across the world, and we are someone okay, Mikongoi Warren, could you kindly just mute your yeah, thank you. Yeah, sorry. So I was saying we have different hubs across the world. So for us, Kushite ICP hub, we are the East African hub. That means we are responsible of the whole of East Africa region, I guess Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Rwanda. Yeah, all the East African countries also that I have not named. And yeah, so internet computer is just basically a type of blockchain. Maybe if I can get a bit interactive, if you can just share in the chat, maybe what you know about blockchain, like what is blockchain? So yeah, so what is blockchain? If you can just type in the chat, I can see some familiar faces over here of people that are aware of this. So maybe you can just type what is blockchain, just for a few 15 seconds. Yes, I'm a bit keen on time. So what do you think blockchain is? You know, we've been talking about this technology called blockchain, and now it's here, and people are transitioning to it, and maybe people assume that blockchain is mostly
Unajua
maybe people are assuming that blockchain is mostly in the cryptocurrency side, but blockchain is not really in the cryptocurrency side. Blockchain is wide, blockchain is big. The cryptocurrency side is just a tip of the iceberg. Yeah. Yeah, so if you can type in the chat, you can just type what is blockchain. I'll just read it through as we continue. Yeah, but basically blockchain is just network of just distributed ledgers that communicate between each other in a way that they cannot be tampered with. Yeah. So yeah, so you can just type in the chat what you think blockchain is according to you. Maybe you've never known about this technology and it's your first time. Just feel free. Don't worry. This is more of an interactive session. Yeah, but let me go back to my slides. Yeah. So the internet computer is a type of blockchain. Yeah, and it's a layer 1 type of blockchain, and it was launched by the Divinity Foundation in May of 2021. So ICP, or internet computer, is actually a new type of blockchain, you know. So so it being a new type of blockchain, we are actually like the first people to be onboarded on it. So that means that you even just attending this meeting, even me just being here, you know, we are just the first people to know about this technology before the whole world gets to know about ICP. It may take some time, but through us, you know, we are going to be able to at least make it known throughout the world. Most people know in the blockchain say they know of the common blockchain cryptocurrencies like Ethereum and Bitcoin, you know, but you know there's also ICP. So why is ICP standing out from all of these other blockchains? So let's know about that. Another thing you should know about ICP, it was founded by Dominic Williams. He's actually the founder of ICP. And I guess let me read this through. So internet computer is the fastest and most efficient and only infinitely scalable general purpose layer 1 blockchain, incubated and launched by the Divinity Foundation in May of 2021. Yeah, so it's a bit of an advanced blockchain, which is tamper-proof and unstoppable. It can truly scale and runs with incredible efficiency, serving web experiences to end users interacting with Web 2 and trustlessly creating transaction on other chains. So all this summarized, if anyone asks you what the internet computer is, internet computer is currently the only blockchain that runs completely on the cloud. So by it running completely on the cloud, it means that it is completely decentralized. By decentralization, it means that no central party gets to control it. For example, we are all in different countries. We have different presidents. Those are the people who control the particular country. But then if you're coming into the blockchain aspect, when you talk decentralization, that means it's a network of people who cannot be tampered with, and it's people all over the world who get to actually control this type of technology. So ICP is the only blockchain that runs completely in the cloud. So at least if anyone asks you what ICP is, just know that it's the only blockchain that currently runs completely in the cloud. So let's see how that comes to be. So as I said, it was founded by Dominic Williams. So I guess let's just say in short, this is our prime boss, yeah? This is our prime boss. He's Dominic Williams. He has a bit of background from Google. So how he came up to start ICP, it's and since it's something that is related to the cloud, then of course, through working on Google and everything, that's how he ended up coming up with ICP. And you get a series of cryptographers, a series of a huge team that gets to actually create this type of blockchain. So I'm not gonna talk more about him. Probably he's gonna come in Kenya soon or in Africa soon. So Internet Computer has an architecture. Like all blockchains, you have to know like what type of architecture is related in this blockchain. Bitcoin has its own type of architecture. Ethereum has its own type of architecture. Same way as Internet Computer. Yeah. So how ICP comes to be, there's a series of there are different data centers that are across the globe. We have data centers in Zurich, New York, Dubai, Cape Town. Hopefully we'll have one in East Africa with time. But these data centers are the ones that are responsible of ICP blockchain in general. So maybe if you wanted to stop ICP blockchain at once, just get to attack all these data centers worldwide, which is actually quite a bit impossible. So these data centers have node providers. So these node providers are responsible of running different nodes across the world. Even you personally, you can become a node provider if you wanted. It's easy for Internet Computer blockchain. It's easy because all you do is just get into the website and you just register that you want to be a node provider, and you're given the details that if you want to be a node provider, you need this and this particular type of machine and this particular type of let's say, for example, of course, for you to run like to be a whole node provider, that means you'll need to have like a very good running machine. You have to have a good electricity and everything. So ICP gets to at least tell you what you need, and they give you a chance. So you have to be a very reliable node provider. Yeah. So these nodes form something that is called subnets. So the subnets are the ones that are responsible of the communication between ICP in the ICP blockchain. So just know that nodes form something called subnets. So it's not something that you don't need to cram about all this, but just know how the whole blockchain process comes in is, of course, you need to have data centers and you need to have node providers. And now for ICP, these nodes form subnets. And now these subnets are the ones that get to communicate between each other. So it's a whole computation type of scenario that I can't go deep into it, but I guess that's just a general overview of it. So these subnets, of course, get to communicate between each other, as I said, seamlessly. And since it's blockchain, that means it's tamper-proof. That means no one can get to control it. So now there are some unique features of the Internet Computer. As you said about ICP, everyone right now is wondering, why is ICP standing out from all these other blockchains? So there are unique features of the Internet Computer whereby compared to other blockchains, ICP stands out. The first unique feature is the cost of storing 1 GB on chain for 1 year. Now that comes to the developer basis, because the whole point of this class is, we're also reflecting to developers. We want you guys to become blockchain developers, even if for some of you guys already you are, but for some of you guys, it's also, this is the journey of where you get to start, from the basics to now to the advanced stage. So one thing that stands out about internet computer is storage. Storage is really matters, especially for us developers, because when you create your own, let's say you've created your own Facebook or Twitter or your own application, let's just say any application, or maybe your own Binance, you've created it and now it has to run online. So for it to be live, for people to be using it real time, you always need to pay a certain amount of money. So for internet computer, one thing that stands out about us is just storing 1 GB of data, you just get to pay $5 compared to other blockchains. So this, I'm not going against other blockchains, but it's always good to compare. It's always good to compare different blockchains and how their prices are. So if we are comparing ICP to maybe Solana or Ethereum, as you can see, for Solana, you'll need to pay around $110,000 to just run 1 GB on chain of 1 GB storage of on chain for maybe 1 year. And that can be a bit expensive, you see. And we're in Africa, we have to just stand out to the reality that we are not advanced like other countries, or we are not like let's say we are not most of us are not financially stable. In fact, most of us, some of you here, you're in this call because in the long run you want to get employed probably in a blockchain company, or see how this blockchain is gonna take you through, or maybe you want to just transition from the Web2 side. So for developers, it's really important. So for one thing that stands out for the internet computer is just storing 1 GB of data is $5 compared to other blockchains can be a bit high. Hopefully with time, other blockchains will also get to implement this with time. Yeah, sorry. And then also another thing about the internet computer that makes it stand out is we use a novel consensus mechanism that is called proof of useful work, which is efficient, secure, and unstoppable. So the comparing other blockchains, like Bitcoin uses proof of work, Ethereum uses proof of state. So all types of blockchains use a different consensus mechanism. For ICP, we use proof of useful work, and that's how it gets to this proof of useful work. The whole point of it is more about scalability, because right now a lot of blockchains exist and more are gonna still come, but then for ICP, it's more about scalability. So using proof of useful work, it ensures that scalability is established. Yeah. Another unique feature about ICP is it's extremely safe and reliable. So far so good. We've not heard of any hacks or any challenges that have been encountered. Other blockchains we've had such scenarios, had scenarios whereby people get to even invest on a blockchain, and they end up getting hurt. They end up getting losing money, and it brings a whole bad reputation and reflection to the blockchain industry in general. So ICP is extremely safe and reliable, and I think the only reason about this is because everything is completely on the cloud. Because by everything being completely on the cloud, that means it's just like everything is running completely on the internet. No one can get to actually control the internet as it is. And then also another thing which is also important is ICP is a certified greenest blockchain. We always have to look at environmental impact if you're talking blockchain, because for the whole world to even adapt this, for even governments to adapt this, they'll always ask, is this type of blockchain environmental conducive? Is it good for the environment, or does it bring a bad reputation to the environment? So we've had a problem with, for example, Bitcoin, whereby, for you to just become a miner, by mining, that means you have you're coming in to like be a node provider who gets to like get to you're providing let's say you're providing your particular machine to be able to do all these computational transaction details and all for you to secure the Bitcoin network. But then we've had a problem whereby governments have said that this thing is actually bad for the environment, which it is. And now that's where us we're coming in. So ICP is environmental conducive, so it's good for the environment, in short. And of course you can get you can do multiple transactions on the internet computer. So it's always good to look at how a blockchain gets to impact the environment, because one or another it gets to also reflect on us. And then also another unique feature about ICP is it has last generation smart contracts. So it has smart contracts that are called canisters. We are gonna look a bit about canisters. Hopefully we'll get time and just do the code session, just a small bit. But even if you don't get, just know that ICP have smart contracts that are called canisters. The reason why they are called canisters is because they are a bit advanced than normal smart contracts. Yeah. Another unique feature of the internet computer is, of course, we have to look at transaction cost and how cheap it is. So right now, if I have like one ICP, if I'm sending you one ICP, the transaction cost is gonna be as low as 0.001 ICP. That's actually really good compared to other blockchains, whereby for example, let's say Bitcoin or Ethereum. If I'm sending you one Ethereum or one Bitcoin right now, the gas fees are so high. So if you're talking scalability, you can't just say that we want the whole world to start using blockchain. And there's someone there's someone who doesn't know about this technology. So if we get to actually move to this technology that the whole world gets to embrace it, we have to look at aspects such as, is it cheap? Is it it's just like for example, in Kenya we have M-Pesa. Most people love M-Pesa, you see, because it's easy. The time is just if I'm sending you any money from M-Pesa right now, I think the speed is as low as like let's say I think it's 3 seconds if I'm not wrong. And also when M-Pesa started, the transaction costs were always low. Of course, with time they get to increase based on how governments get to tax people, but transaction cost is always really always matters. So ICP stands out in this because the transaction cost is really low, and this brings scalability. So for example, if I have my grandmother in let's say in TI, and I want to send her ICP tokens, you see, maybe if now we've already educated them about the whole of this technology. If I'm sending her one ICP token, you see, at least she'll say, oh, my grandson, I've already gotten my ICP. I've seen the transaction cost is a bit low. It's even cheaper than compared to maybe other blockchains, or compared to even M-Pesa. So this stands out really for the internet computer. Yeah. So another unique feature is ICP has a unique reverse gas fee model, whereby end users never pay for using their dApps or their web services. So most of you guys are gonna be building real life dApps. These are real life applications that are gonna impact people. These are things that they're gonna take you places. You're gonna start a company. You're gonna maybe never know how far you can go. So the good thing about this is the users don't get to pay for the services. Most of the Web2 applications, you have to pay. I'm also part of the Web2 side. We build websites on the Web2 side, but then you always have to realize that sometimes you have to make users pay for your particular application for you to be able to afford to pay for this web hosting services and the like. So it's so ICP is unique because us developers are the ones who get to pay for this particular dApps to run. And as I said, like 1 GB storage of data is like $5. So it's not that expensive for us developers, but it's also better for us developers to pay for it instead of the users, because if the users get to pay and the price gets to go up, then people will stop using your dApp. And of course, the more people use your dApp, the better you get to convert everything. Yeah. Another unique feature about Internet Computer is it enables Web 2 to Web 3 interoperability, and it eliminates need for oracles. So ICP is unique because it has been able to we have different APIs whereby through these canisters that you build, they can be able to interact with you get to interact with this application as normal as just like the way you get to interact with Web 2 websites and the likes. That's how ICP has made it in a way that right now, if you open any website of ICP, if you open any of the websites, it will just look like a normal website. It won't ask you for a wallet or any of that. It will probably just ask you for maybe internet identity verification, but enabling this direct HTTP outcalls to Web 2 sites is actually better and easy, because now you see it brings the whole of Web 2 side to the Web 3 side. By Web 2, there's history of the internet, there's history of the web, how the web came up to be, from its traditional place to now where we are going to the Web 3, and now for ICP we are transitioning people to the Web 3.0 type of internet. So yeah, so that's actually a major advantage of ICP that maybe you can also consider, because it doesn't rule out the Web 2 side. It doesn't mean that Web 2 is completely cut off, because Web 3 is actually a foundation of Web 2. So if we say that we are just moving to the Web 3 side and we're leaving Web 2 side, it doesn't actually make sense. So ICP really stands out with this through that, and we're gonna see more of that practically. Yeah. There's also something very unique about Internet Computer, is we have something called the internet identity, which is, I think I just said a while ago. So internet identity is basically how you get to verify and interact with all blockchains. So if you get to build any dApp on Internet Computer, first thing you're always gonna see is it won't ask you for a wallet. It will just ask you for an internet identity. So internet identity is actually unique, and everyone here can get an internet identity. For those of you who have already interacted with the Internet Computer blockchain, of course you already have created your own. For some of you who haven't, we'll just create ours, and you'll see how it's so easy. So internet identity is basically more of a verification feature, more of an authentication feature, whereby instead of using the wallets, if you're using wallets, sometimes the challenge about wallets, and this is also applies for all of us in the blockchain side, the challenges with wallets is sometimes you need to have a seed phrase, or maybe you need to have crammed your particular password. So maybe imagine there's someone, like I was saying, let me just reference to my grandmother. Now imagine my grandmother is connecting to a Web3 dApp, and she has to use it, and she doesn't know, she forgot her password, and she doesn't know how the whole of this process of recovering, seed phrase, you have to write, 1 to how many letters, you have to cram them, or maybe you screenshotted it. So it's a bit challenging. Also, another challenge is, you never know, someone can hack you, and probably you're holding a lot of cryptocurrencies in your wallet, and someone just knows your particular seed phrase, or they just hacked you and they got access to it. So it's a bit tricky, and that's where internet identity comes in. So every application that you're you're logging in with on the internet computer, you always have to use internet identity. So it's a gateway to applications on the internet computer anchored to your favorite devices. So you can sync it with your mobile phone. Alternatively, you can always just use maybe the particular machine that you're having. But internet identity is more about privacy. It's just like though I'm not, I don't think I'm allowed to talk about this, but it's just like the way WorldCoin came to be, whereby they say, we're doing a proof of humanity, in a world whereby there's gonna be a lot of AIs and robots and everything. We have to have a unique, you need to have a unique human identity through, of course, using your eyes and everything. So for them, they use that for their verification. For us, internet computer, we have internet identity, which is actually easy because it's just more like the same way you use fingerprints and Face ID on your phones, is just the same way internet identity works. Yeah, so we're gonna see more of that. This is just an image of how internet identity looks like when you create your own account and everything. We're gonna create ours, and hopefully you're also gonna get to create yours. So internet identity is really important in the internet computer because it's the one that you have to have that unique identity, and that unique identity is synced either to your phone or to any of your devices. So there's no need of cramming seed phrases or passwords and the likes. Yeah. So if you're talking governance, we in the blockchain side, there's always something called a DAO, a decentralized autonomous organization. So since blockchain is more about let's not have one person control everything, there's always the decentralization part. So ICP also has its own type of DAO, whereby this DAO is called NNS. We call it NNS, but in full, it's called the Network Nervous System DAO. So using this NNS, which I don't know if I should get to. Let me just get to. I hope you can see my screen. Can you see my screen? Can you see an NNS right now? Kindly confirm for me. Maybe Steve, kindly confirm for me if you can see my screen.
You can see it.
Okay, so this is actually the NNS. Actually, I think maybe Steve, you can help me. You can just post this link to everyone in the chat. So how NNS works is, this is now the whole DAO of internet computer. So let me first log in right now. Of course, if I sign in, it's gonna ask me about my internet identity, which I explained to you guys why it's really unique. So this is my unique internet identity ID. It doesn't mean that now you can get to hack me since you know my ID or anything, but I'll have to use my phone first of all to log in, and then of course I'll verify my. So once you've created your internet identity, you get to interact with any of this. So so I just want us to see practically why NNS stands out as a DAO in the internet computer, as a decentralized autonomous organization. And why it stands out is because okay, now it has logged in successfully, and this is how it looks like. So as you can see here, NNS is more like, it's the main wallet. At the same time, it's just not a wallet on the internet computer, but it's actually where you get to interact with the internet computer blockchain. By interacting, you can get to store your tokens. Here I guess I just withdrew some ICP, but I can be able to use this as my wallet, maybe hold internet computer tokens, CKBTC, CKETH, all these type of tokens. I can get to store them over here. At the same time, I can be able to stake. So staking is more about is more on the cryptocurrency side, but staking is more about for you to just build the community. For you to secure the whole blockchain, it's good to stake. So for example, I guess maybe you guys can see 11 ICP locked here. It's not really a big deal. This is just I'm just doing it practically. Doesn't mean that you need to stake 11 ICP, but you can get to also stake your tokens over here. Staking takes time, and the difference about staking the internet computer. It's a bit complicated. It's a whole process. We won't tackle it right now, but basically staking is more of locking your tokens. So it's more of if you're in Kenya, if you've interacted with M-Pesa, we have M-Shwari. M-Shwari is where you can get to actually lock your particular savings. Just lock them for a particular time, or even in the bank, you say that I want this money, I don't want to use it, so let me lock it. So it's the same thing that applies on the blockchain side, whereby you get to stake, but the only difference about the blockchain part is when you stake, you get rewards. So rewards are always based on that particular type of blockchain. Most of you guys have interacted with all these staking platforms like Binance and the like, and you can see how you get your own rewards. So you can also get to stake on the internet computer. And then the best thing about now why it brings this whole part about decentralization and all is you can get to vote on proposals. So that means anyone in the world can get to actually see what is really happening in the internet computer protocol. So here you can see vote on proposals. For example, if I wanted to vote on this proposal, I'll just click it, and if it's open, I'll just get to vote, yes or not. Some of these things that you get to vote on, sometimes they're just complicated and all. Like here you can see assign node operator. These are things that most people don't know, but at least you can get to interact with the internet computer ecosystem, by you just having an NNS wall DApp, and you just having it, and just maybe storing some tokens. For you to vote, I guess you have to stake. That's the issue. But staking comes more about you just want to secure the network. You don't want, since it's a DAO, that means it's a series of people who get to control this. Yeah, on top of that, you can also get to see different dApps. So now some of you guys are gonna be building real-time dApps. So what you're seeing here, these are real-time dApps that have been featured over here. So let's say you've built your internet computer dApp, it's full and it's live, it will also be listed here as an SNS in the NNS system, and probably even us in the community can get to vote on it. If you want something, let's say we want the developers to do this particular thing, it's not the developers who get to call the shots. It's actually the whole community, because this is actually a DApp that is affecting the whole community. On top of that, you can get to also interact with canisters, which I said we're gonna talk more about that, but canisters are basically smart contracts. The only difference is in the internet computer protocol, we call them canisters because they are a bit advanced form of smart contracts. So that's that for NNS. I just wanted to show you practically. I think it would have been easier that way, but basically NNS is more of our main governance platform. So you can get to participate in the governance of internet computer, of course, by staking. You can get to pay for the services. So as a developer there, you can get to link your canister ID and, get to, like we were saying, pay $5 for 1 GB. That's where you can get to also pay for those services. And then, of course, the whole point of ICP, the whole point of scalability is also burning. It's just like how Ethereum came up with layer 2s, which the whole point behind it is, instead of miners getting the whole of this let's say rewards by mining, let's get to burn this particular let's say this particular blockchain, so that it enhances scalability, because the less the tokens are, the higher the value goes up. So you can also get to invest. So internet computer has an NNS. So you can't rule out, first of all, you can't rule out internet identity, and you can't rule out NNS out of the internet computer blockchain. But then you see, it's our responsibility for us developers. Maybe if you feel like NNS can't get to call the shots on everything on the internet computer, what if we develop our own NNS? The sky is the limit. as we said, yeah. So this is a photo of how the NNS looks like. Of course, I showed you guys practically, which was actually easier. And yeah, so there's also something called Chenki cryptography. So another unique feature about internet computer is Chenki cryptography. So how Chenki cryptography works, all type of blockchains have different types of cryptography, and that's why you get to hire cryptographers, and this is a whole type of mathematics and computer science behind it. So ICP has Chenki cryptography, and through this this is actually what is responsible of scalability. So by scalability, it means that using Chenki cryptography, assume you as a person are a blockchain, or just you as a person. So let's assume me, Tevin. There's a whole Chenki cryptography behind me. So how Chenki cryptography works is it's gonna take a clone of me. So everything that I do, Tevin has these particular features and does this and this. So it creates that it's like it creates a particular clone of you, or of that particular blockchain. Let's just say it creates a particular clone of that particular blockchain, and it doesn't change anything that blockchain does or that person does. All it does is it makes things better. You see, for example, if it comes to Bitcoin, you see it just replicates the Bitcoin network as it is, and then it gets to using this Chenki cryptography. So let's say it will be called CK-BTC or CK Bitcoin. It was Bitcoin, but now it has using Chenki cryptography. It's Chenki Bitcoin. So the Chenki Bitcoin will get to do the same old normal transactions and everything that has been doing, but the only difference it's gonna do a bit of advanced features. So this actually has an enhanced scalability, because it actually brings all blockchains into it brings all blockchains into one. So I always like to say that it's like it unites the whole blockchain platform in one, because we have a lot of blockchains. You have to consider, we have Solana, we have Ethereum, we have Bitcoin, we have all these that are being listed in the market. We have even the stable coins, the USDC and USDT. So using Chenki cryptography, you can get to actually replicate all of these blockchains and make them better. For example, if you wanted to make Solana better, let's say using Chenki cryptography, it's possible. Just do the whole integration, and that's how it comes. So at least there's some achievements that have been done using this Chenki cryptography, because we also have to assume that there's always there are some people who always just believe that Bitcoin is everything. We always call them Bitcoin maximalists, or maybe that particular chain maybe that people love. If you talk about any other blockchain in the world, they'll tell you it's Bitcoin that rules the world. But you see, it's not more of a competition if you're bringing the blockchain aspect, because the whole point of blockchain is it's a new technology that is changing the world. The world is advancing. Probably years from now is not how things are gonna be moving. So if you're bringing the whole blockchain part, you shouldn't bring a whole separation behind it. So using Chenki cryptography, I believe that ICP has been able to at least integrate all types of blockchains, and so far so good. Yeah, as you can see, Chenki cryptography, it enables scaling. So far so good. ICP has been able to integrate Bitcoin and Ethereum, and so far it has integrated Bitcoin and Ethereum, and also I think there's USDC and USDT that is also coming in. So this actually enables scalability in the point of like we said, if I'm sending you Bitcoin right now, it's gonna be too expensive. But if I'm using Chenki Bitcoin, see the transaction speed is as low as 0.001. Transaction time is if I'm sending you Bitcoin, it might take even 30 minutes. But you see, if I'm using Chenki Bitcoin, which has used Chenki cryptography, this actually the time is less. It's like as low as 2 seconds. So that actually brings scalability, because we all have to now see things in the whole of the blockchain technology is here, but now in the point of scalability, whereby the whole world is gonna get to use this, we especially us as Africans, we have to see it in the long run. How will someone get to use this? Even if they don't have a smartphone, how will they get to use it in a way that they won't feel like it's just for a particular type of generation or a particular type of people. So this actually improves scalability. So chunky cryptography has been successfully done in Bitcoin and in Ethereum, which are the two major blockchains for now. But maybe with time, they're gonna be other blockchains. All in all, ICP, through chunky cryptography, it integrates them. So it's more of, it brings people together instead of, let's say, this particular people are for Bitcoin, this particular people are for Ethereum, this particular people are for Tezos, this particular people are for, it doesn't have to be actually that way. Like, it's more of a competition, and it can't be more of a competition because the whole point of blockchain is it's a new technology that is meant to make the world a better place as it is. Yeah. So as you can see here, there's direct BTC integration. Using Canister smart contracts, you can get to hold, receive, and send native Bitcoin on the Bitcoin network. So like I said, so the chunky cryptography actually just replicates the Bitcoin network. The same features that Bitcoin network has of holding, receiving, and sending Bitcoin. It's the same feature that is actually on chunky Bitcoin. But the only difference is, you see, if you're making it scalable, how is it better? You see, the transaction time has to be less, and the transaction speed has to be transaction cost has to be a bit low. Yeah. So yes, I won't read all of this, but maybe I just know that, yeah, chunky cryptography has been integrated on Bitcoin at the moment, and that's now where us developers come in. We get to build these Canister smart contracts, and we're gonna be building dApps where people are gonna be using CKBTC, which is just normal as normal Bitcoin and the likes, and to enable scalability. Yeah. So CKBTC, like I said, is just like one Bitcoin is backed by one CKBTC is one BTC or one Bitcoin. So it doesn't change anything. So as you can see, using this chunky cryptography, what you can see in the screen is just a photo of how now CKBTC looks like, USDT, and with time, all these other blockchains are gonna get to integrate with are gonna get to be integrated with ICP. Like I'm really waiting for us to integrate Solana and the likes, so that it doesn't become like it's more of a competition, which blockchain is better than this. If we start comparing that, then we will end up getting lost. The whole point of blockchain is make the world a better place. Yeah. So there's also Ethereum integration. This actually happened late last year. So this is actually new, whereby using chunky cryptography, ICP has been able to build to integrate Ethereum. So for Ethereum, it's called CKETH. It is just like the native let's say the whole symbol of Ethereum. So through this, at least, it also scales Ethereum. Now for Ethereum, this is actually interesting because Ethereum right now is moving to the layer 2 and layer 3 type of blockchains. But Ethereum on its own is a layer 1 type of blockchain, but we have layer 2 type of blockchains that are coming up on Ethereum, such as the most common ones, I guess, is the Starknet, the Optimism network. Personally, Optimism network is good. For those who maybe got to get like WorldCoin uses Optimism network, which is actually from the Ethereum network, whereby right now, if I send you one WorldCoin, the transaction speed is so fast and the transaction cost is so low. So you can get to actually send someone WorldCoin and everything. But enough about WorldCoin. Just the whole of the Ethereum network on its own. Through chunky cryptography, you can get to now be able to build a layer 2 type of dApps on the internet computer, you see through, and this ends up to affect the Ethereum side. So you as an Ethereum developer, because when you come into the blockchain side, most of the developer side is always on the Ethereum network. Okay, that's where most of it has been, but then at least now using ICP you can, and also there's also other type of blockchains, but let's say through ICP you can be able to build now these smart contracts on Bitcoin, and you can also be able to build these smart contracts on Ethereum. So the whole point of that is just to enable scalability. By scalability is you as a dev, when you create a dApp, you see when people use more of your dApp, the whole transactions and everything, they get to affect the network one or another, and they get to improve it. Yeah. So Chainky tokens such as CK8 and CK20 vastly extend the capabilities. Don't worry about ICP dexes for users to swap and transfer tokens, but of course the speed here is just 1 to 2 seconds, you see, and this actually makes the internet computer stand out one way or another. So internet computer is able to integrate any type of blockchain, so that's something unique. And that's why people are getting to realize that, oh, this is actually a kind of a unique type of blockchain, whereby it's not more of a selfish type of blockchain, whereby we are waking up and just saying ICP rules the world. We all tweet, hey, ICP, 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 so that we get ICP maybe token to go up or something. No, it's more about see how will these blockchains get to be advanced. And also another thing that I forgot is internet computer does not rely on these web hosting services such as AWS and Google Clouds and the rest. Everything is completely on chain. The whole infrastructure of internet computer is everything is completely on the cloud. So that means everything is completely decentralized. When you compare other blockchains, yes, there are blockchains of on their own, but you see, when you go behind the scenes, you'll realize that, hey, there's an AWS server that is actually running this particular blockchain, or there's a Google Cloud server that is running this particular blockchain. And we're trying to cut that off because, for example, anything happens. Yesterday, for those who are in Kenya, yesterday, M-Pesa failed for a few minutes. That small glitch actually affected a lot of people one or another. So it also just also on the blockchain side, and also on the cloud side, on the website, this whole platforms, one or another, one day they always have their own days whereby they get to hang, they get to see they're hacked. So the internet computer stands out because it's not built on top of any of these services. So that actually makes it stand out, because now we can completely call it a blockchain on its own, and we can completely call it completely decentralization. Because if we talk decentralization, if your blockchain is hosted, you're paying for the services, monthly or yearly, and then you see these particular services get to interfere, it might affect the whole blockchain on its own. Yeah, we've seen this through different type of blockchains that have had their own issues, such as Solana, but doesn't mean that Solana is bad. It just means that, you see, they just need to upgrade that particular traditional IT infrastructure to at least for them to continue running. So if, let's say, for example, I love Solana. If Solana came to ICP, then it's a game changer, because now it will be completely decentralized. But if continues as it is, then they get to still host their whole platform behind these particular services, and these particular services have glitches, then brings a whole sort of scenario and drama, and people end up losing money and the like. Yeah. So anyway, enough about that, but ICP stands out really because of that. Yeah. Of course, there's an Ethereum integration about it, and so if you're talking EVM on the internet computer, we have something called Bitfinity. Bitfinity is actually the Ethereum virtual machine that is running on the internet computer, which is now responsible for now us developers. We can get to code using a type of language that is called Solidity. Solidity is now the most common type of language for most blockchain developers. Even if you're being onboarded, probably some of you guys have done like different classes online or amongst yourselves, and you see the first language you're always told to start with is Solidity. So at least now for ICP developers, you can be able to use Solidity and build your dApps on the Bitfinity VM, and yeah, get to see how it actually takes you through. So we have different types of blockchains of dApps that have been built on the internet computers that actually they're more like the Web2 dApps that have just been built. For example, you can see there Medium for ICP, we have Nuance, YouTube for ICP, we have the social, Telegram for ICP, we have OpenChat. So they do the same work as these other applications. The only difference is, of course, this one's run on the RCP blockchain, and actually that's the main purpose of now you as a developer or an upcoming developer is you'll get to build these dApps on your own and actually get to change the world one way or another on a positive type of way. Yeah, so we always insist that if you're building, just try and build being responsible. Don't build to get rich quick and just get people using your dApp or your application, and then when you reach a particular, maybe you raised 1 billion and then boom, you disappear, and then it brings a whole process, or it brings a whole drama or chaos, and it brings a bad reputation to the blockchain side. So we always insist that if you're building dApps, when you're coming up with ideas, just look at how things are going on. You see, maybe in your country or locally, just how will this person get, for example, if it's a mama mboga, how will they get their fresh produce of products to the market in a way that there won't be any intermediaries. You see, through blockchain technology, this is how we can get to do this. And also, if you're coming up with these dApps, just try to have like ideas that are a bit real, and at least that can be able to help someone one way or another. Yeah, so now let's come to the developer side. So we have different types of languages for ICP. We have Motoko, we have Rust, we have Azure, we have Kibra, and now we have Solidity, which came in recently. Let me check my time. Yeah. So we have Solidity. So let me just quickly rush here. So here is the documentation for developers, and for some of you guys you'll be starting your hackathon pretty soon, probably this week. This week we'll start our first hackathon. We hope we know it's gonna be a success. So most of you guys will be actually interacting with some of these languages. Some of you guys have already done hackathons, and some of you guys have also actually started building on the internet computer. And using a series of these languages, you can just get to use any of them. We have Motoko, we have Solidity, we have Rust, we have TypeScript, we have Python. So all of them based on how you feel. Maybe Steve can help me. He'll just post this link on the chat. Or let me just try and see if I can post it. So this is now where your journey starts as a dev. You see, this is where now you'll get to choose. So you can get to choose any of these languages, any of these, depending on how you feel, or maybe on how your stack is, you can get to use. As a developer, it's always good to just know your niche, just know maybe where you're good at, and get to use. Personally, let's say, personally, I used to love TypeScript. Now I don't love TypeScript. Now I love Rust and Motoko. And then now Solidity came in, and me, I used to know Solidity. So now I'm in the Solidity side. So it just depends on you. And then now I also saw Python is a bit, looks cool because you're using the whole Python environment. Now I also want to use Python. So if you'll be building with any of these languages, just choose one and at least try and just try and perfect it. Don't cram or anything, because if you get mixed up with all of them, then you might end up feeling like it's frustrated. So this is the documentation for developers. I would advise you to read through them, because all of them have links where you can just check out. For example, the Solidity one will just take you to Bitfinity network, where you can just get to access the developer documentation, see how you can get to build a dApp in Bitfinity. If you're using Rust is actually a high level type of language, which is actually used in all blockchains nowadays. All blockchains are actually transitioning to Rust because Rust is a bit of a mature language. It actually clears its own self. It clears its own memory. Has a whole type of technology behind it, so that's why people feel good with Rust. Alternatively, if you're good with just JavaScript, you can use TypeScript, or you can also use Python. So any of them is good for you for this particular hackathon. Also, we have installation requirements that we would like from you guys. So now, since what we did there was we just did an introduction session, but now on the coding session we have some installation requirements. Let me just copy this link and post it here. So we have some installation requirements that we'd love you guys to do in your machine, so that now when you come for these sessions, at least you won't feel like you're out of place. So I'm just gonna paste it over here. Some of you guys have already done the installations, but we actually recommend you guys to just do them. This is just depending on which OS you're using. So now first, if you don't have a laptop, I think, or a machine, you might need to use one. I don't know, maybe one day we'll get funding from different companies that will give us laptops. We give you guys for free, but before then, I guess you'll just have to just have to get that shamba, that djembe for the shamba for yourself. So if you don't have a laptop, you might feel a bit outside. That's why even in the WhatsApp group, you're always asking, do you have a laptop or not? For some of you guys, you said no. For some of you guys, you said yes. So if you don't have for now, we still don't have a solution for that, but we are gonna get one. But it will take time. I'll just advise you to just get one. I try to advise people to do the decade course, and at least try and get it. So now if you're talking the decade course, if you click this link, the first link we want you guys to create is a decade course link. So last year, most of last year, we were talking more about decade and everything. So decade features two courses for internet computer. So when you do these two courses, we have a TypeScript course and we have a Rust course, which covers just these two languages. These two languages over here, of Rust and TypeScript. So we have a decade course that has been flowing on from last year. This is now how we were laughing and saying that actually, if you do the decade course, you know that when you get the free ICP tokens, because when you do this particular course, it's just all of them are 1 hour 40 minutes courses. So we usually use this for educational purposes for our developers. So it's not more about incentivization or just getting the money. It's more of learning. So when you do these courses, you get you get 70 points on each. Basically, these courses just have Canister smart contract. So you create your own Canister smart contract. When you deploy it successfully, and you get 70 points, you'll get rewarded a certificate, and you'll also get rewarded the ICP tokens. So now the challenge about this is last year the prize tokens were like 20 ICP for each. So like, for example, if you did this TypeScript smart contract and you got those 20 ICP tokens and you don't have a laptop, you would have gotten one by, of course, just doing this and just sacrificing that money to buy one. But now the incentivization part has ended. Now when you do the courses, you'll just get 2 ICP tokens, which is something. It's something, but now we should like, that's why we always insisted last year. It's not more about the price, it's more about, you know, your learning journey. So you can get to do these particular courses on your free time. However you feel like, just get to do them. And yeah, so that's why in the installation requirements over here, the first option we wanted is you guys to just have a Decade account first. Yeah, but now I think we'll not talk about Decade more. We'll just be diving more in our sessions. So just have a Decade account for you to just do these 2 courses, for you to get the 2 ICP tokens in each. I never know, maybe the price of ICP token might shoot in a way that we didn't expect, and maybe those 2 ICP tokens might end up being having a lot of value. So based on you can get to use them, or get to 2 ICP tokens, I think is just $40. So at least getting $40 just by doing a 1 hour 40 minutes course, it's not bad. But like I said, it was 20 ICP tokens per that, and now it's not that. Now we are back to reality, and reality is we are on the educational side. Yeah, so after that you'll just get when you're here on the installation requirements part, create an NNS account. NNS, I already logged into mine, showed you guys why NNS is really important. Even here you can see this is a photo of an NNS wallet that had like 20 ICP tokens. You can get to hold your ICP tokens maybe if you're doing the Decade, however you feel. It's your choice. Alternatively, if you're in Kenya, you can use Binance to hold your ICP tokens, or you know, depending on the country you're in. Yeah. And then now the most important thing about these installation requirements is, of course, you need to have an internet connection, which everyone has. That's why you're online over here. You need to have a command line interface, at least as a CLI. That's just basically where you're gonna be typing your code. And then we insist that we are using VS Code. If you're building on the internet computer, we don't have particular type of IDEs. We're just using VS Code. So if you have any of this, please have any of this. This is important. Just have internet connection, have a laptop, and have VS Code installed in your machine. And then now the most important thing that we want you guys to install are this. We want you guys to install Node.js 18. We want you guys to install DFX and to install Rust. That's why we've been having like technical ambassadors who have been helping out. For some of you guys, you know, if you have challenges, mostly for those who have Windows, you know, we've been referring you to go to this particular type of ambassador, technical ambassador who can help you at least install. For me currently, I'm just using Linux. That's why it looks like this. But no, most of you guys are using Windows. So if maybe you're having challenges installing Windows and the rest, we have ambassadors who can help you guys out. Alternatively, you can just always be posting on the WhatsApp groups, on the chat groups, and you know, someone just gets to help you. So if you're using Linux, we put the installations for Node, DFX, and Rust over here, and the commands over here. And if you're using Windows, we also put that. For Windows, you'll need to have like WSL2 installed. And then for Mac, there's actually a video which is actually easy. So if you have a Mac, you're a bit on an advantage. You can just follow through that and get to install your Node, DFX, and Rust. So this is really, really important, guys. Now this is where now your journey or our journey starts. So when we're gonna be having these sessions, they're gonna be different because like you see, as you can see here, we have different languages. We have Motoko, we have Solidity, we have Rust, we have TypeScript, we have Python. We have to go through all these languages one way or another. At least, let's say this week maybe I won't be in. Maybe Steve is the one who's gonna be doing the Motoko class. The next week we're gonna be doing Solidity, which actually launched, which we're actually supposed to start. The other week we'll do Rust, the other one will do TypeScript, and the other one will do Python. So before we even start coming to these languages, you guys will need to have this installation. So please use this document. Well, it's open, it's not closed anytime. So just have Node, DFX, and Rust. At least if you have this installed, now we can say, okay, let's start coding and let's make you a blockchain developer so that you get to create your own DApp and get funding and everything, because that's the whole point of you being here. We're looking at how things gonna be, and for some of you guys, maybe you're already experienced, but you want to come to the blockchain side. So at least that when you're coding, there's some installations that you always need. So just have this installed, please. This I'm really requesting you guys, because now for the next sessions, like next week's session, when we go deep into the coding part, at least it's better you float on the code part, but at least you have the installations required, because it's more about, there's something called deployment. You'll always need to deploy a Canister smart contract somewhere. So for you to deploy them successfully, and for you to now interact with the front end and back end, just have this installed. It has to be Node.js 18. So if you have another node, just you can still download another Node 18 over there, and then you'll just be switching based on how you'll be using this. So this goes also for the hackathon participants. And now that's where it comes back here to the developer tracks. So when you go below here, you're gonna see different developer tracks. So these developer tracks are actually now what you guys are gonna be building on the internet computer. Like the themes, for example, like I said, have a good idea that something that is real, not something that is beyond the moon, something that you feel like this thing is gonna change someone's life one way or another, and that's the whole point of blockchain. So the first track is build a DApp on ICP. So here you can just build anything as long as it has an ICP feature, get to build that. You can also build layer 2 Bitcoin dApps. This is possible, of course, through the CK-BTC integration, and also the Bitfinity and the likes. Also, you can get to build layer 2 Ethereum dApps, whereby now you can build dApps on the Ethereum network. So now this is where now Ethereum developers you get your time to shine. So you can actually, if you're not good with the rest of these other languages like Motoko, Rust, TypeScript, Python, at least Solidity here, Bitfinity can get to at least boost you. So you have an option of that. The fourth track, you can get to build anything that is related to decentralized security and interoperability. The other track is SocialFi. SocialFi, you can just build any dApp that is related to social media. You can build your own say Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and the likes, based on how you feel like. And then you can also build something that is related to public goods and social impact. Social impact is now like I was saying, like, try and make your dApp as real as possible. That way, you see, no, don't just build dApps for a short time. See it in a bigger picture. This is your app, own it. How are you gonna scale it? So if in the case that maybe you do the hackathon and maybe you get to win the hackathon, if you're rewarded, like, let's say the mega hackathon is like 10,000 USD next month. If you're rewarded that 10,000 USD and you have this particular project you came up with, that's your funding for your particular project. So you need to have at least an idea of just see how the app is gonna work from the beginning to the end. Maybe do your whole research. This and these people don't have this water, and how are they gonna get this? Like, just build dApps for a long term. So we don't want you guys to build dApps just for doing the hackathon and then get money, and maybe just say this one sustained you for this particular month. Just see it on the big long term. So like for the mega hackathon winners, see if we're expecting that the dApps that you guys are gonna come up with are gonna be polished. These are applications that the whole media will also be around you guys, will be like, okay, there's a team that actually built this DApp and it's actually helping Kenyans, it's helping Ugandans, it's helping Tanzanians, Rwandese, it's helping everyone in the world. So just see things on the real side. Now let's just try and be real. For blockchain, it's not more about the cryptocurrency side. It's more about how do you get to impact someone with this new technology that because let's just be honest, not many people know about this. Right now we're like 60 people in this meeting. So if you're 60 people in this meeting, imagine how many people are there in Kenya. Let's just say in Kenya, we have like 50 million people. Most people don't know about blockchain. They don't even know anything about this. So you just being here, you're getting exposed to something new. So just how you take it is gonna really matter. So how you actually build your DApp is actually how you should try and focus on. We always say if you're dealing with people's money, for example, if you're building a wallet, make sure that wallet is secure enough. If you build it on the ICP blockchain, of course it's gonna be running completely on the cloud. That means at least there's gonna be less hacks and everything. But you also have to consider that you're dealing with people's money. If you lose people's funds, see, the blowback comes back to you. Who's gonna be jailed between the whole of your team. So just see things on the real side when you're coming up with this application. Yeah, so so that's that. So these installation requirements are for everyone. So if you don't have any of this installed, please just have them. In case you have a challenge, just reach out to us, me, Steve, or anyone in the WhatsApp group, and you're gonna get helped one way or another. So today we're gonna leave this in the installation requirements. So today's session was more of introduction to ICP, just have an overview of what ICP is. Now from next week, it's gonna be a bit intense because we're gonna be going more into the coding side. So yeah, so at least just have this. Also these slides, if you want access to them, we'll give you access to them. Let me just copy this here. If you need them, you can just go through them probably after the call. We'll leave it open, I guess, for a while. You can just get to access these slides and just see maybe what we talked about today. It's more of an intro session. Yeah, but we also have to consider that some of you guys are doing the hackathon, like the hackathon that's gonna be happening Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's gonna be an overnight hackathon. It's gonna be a hackathon of one of a kind. Don't think we've had a hackathon whereby you get to be hosted in a particular place and you guys get to actually sleep there, and we take care of you guys and everything. So like this Saturday's hackathon, if you're taking part in it, at least I've told you the tracks and what you need so far. And also below here, we have developer educational materials. You can get to use any of them. For example, ICP has a chatbot. This chatbot, it's like a ChatGPT of its own. So you can also be using it for educational purposes. Alternatively, we also have links to all these over here. We'll always get to update them with time. Like here is the ICP chatbot. You can get to ask it anything, maybe if it's related to code or anything, helps you out. But the only problem about this chatbot is sometimes it's not updated, so it might give you rumors. So maybe you might have to compare with ChatGPT and all the likes. We can't rule out AI and in the developer side because when it's there, that's why it's there for us developers to use it. So no one will pinpoint that you used AI to build your DApp or anything. No one actually really cares. Maybe if you're doing writing is when there's always a bit of challenges because someone will say that you're lazy or you just got this from ChatGPT. But if you're developing, make use of these educational materials. And then below here we also have we just put basic terms. You can just be reading like what is a blockchain, what is ICP, what is a DApp, what is a smart contract. Most of the things that we've talked about today, just go through them. So yeah, it's 8:28, so that marks the end of this session, guys. I would have loved if we would have done at least we'd have done a bit of coding session, but for the sake of everyone, because for some people it's their first time knowing about this. So let's just try and be considerate. So now I'll leave the task to you. So you just have this installed in your machines, and then now from next week, at least in the coding sessions, you won't get to float and the like, and also just get to research about this. So yeah, so that marks the end of my session. Thank you guys for attending, sacrificing your time right now. This is the first session we've had of the year, and we had a good turnout. So I hope that you're gonna go through this journey one way or another. Personally, me, I'll help you out how I can. Sometimes maybe I might get overwhelmed. I might tell you talk to this and this particular ambassador. They're gonna help you out. So if I do that, don't worry. It's because maybe I might have a lot of my plate, because all this is new to us, right? So it's a whole journey, step by step. But thank you for attending this session, and I hope it was fruitful one way or another. If it wasn't, just tell us, tell us that we are not satisfied, or just tell us umechoma, or just tell us yeah, just give us the bad feedback. We also love bad feedback, and we'll do things better. So I'm gonna hand it over to Steve, and in case you have any question, maybe just type in chat, because before we log out, Maxwell asks, can you send the recording? Yeah, the recording will be there. It will be posted on the groups. If anyone else has a question, maybe before we go log off, please release you guys. Will there be new courses on Decade? Yeah, there'll be new courses on Decade. They'll have a bigger bounty. The challenge about Decade is when the courses are there, just do them at least, just do them early as possible, because the price token reduced. But like I said, it's not more about the price token. It's more about the educational side. More about you learning. The being rewarded is just a bonus. Like, at least you get rewarded for your effort. Yeah. Issue related to Solidity, Emil. Oh, Emil. Emil, you're from Rwanda. So I know you've been trying to hack around with Solidity. Maybe I can schedule some time and then help you out. But for now, our session is done. I'm a smart contract security editor. Now I am inquiring what would our place be since there is Solidity. Now Gideon, Shadrach, now that's on you. Go through the documentation. For Solidity, we're gonna be starting our classes. We're gonna be using, of course, we're gonna use Truffle, we're gonna use Remix, we're gonna use Hard Hat. I don't know if Foundry can be possible, but any of them, see, all of them achieve the same thing. It's all about deploying smart contracts. So maybe check out the Bitfinity documentation. Bitfinity is a bit new, so the documentations get to be updated. Personally, I'm also creating a whole tutorial on it, so it's new. That means we are getting to also at least build the community one way or another. So yeah. So thank you guys. I hope there's no other burning question before we leave. I'll just hand it over to Steve. Oh yes, Boera. Yes, Boera is here. Yes, Boera. Boera is very important, guys. Yeah.
Hi, and good evening. Tevin, I just wanted to know if we gave the guidelines on the people who are attending the Spillover Hackathon, or I can proceed and do the same.
Oh, kindly do that. Yeah, so guys, I'll hand it over to Boera. Yes.
Okay. I know most of us are going to participate in the Spillover Hackathon that's starting on the day after tomorrow. And some of us here are not. They're just here to learn. But then since you're all here and we might not have another open session, so I just thought maybe I can give guidelines on the same. So the Spillover Hackathon is starting on 12th. I think 12th is Friday. So this hackathon, like I think Tevin mentioned, as he was speaking,